seen that many a time where someone's trying to shoehorn a 20-minute presentation into, well, basically they're not slides, they're just PowerPoint, a way of getting lots of information onto PowerPoint. And as I've said, I've seen, when people say, oh, what should I use? They then get given this template, and suddenly you've got 10-point text on it, and you're like, you cannot use that to present. And these templates are rarely suitable. They're too wordy, they're difficult to highlight your key selling points, and they're often box tick type templates for HR's benefit. Put them onto a handout, don't put them up on the screen. Anything that you put onto the screen should help visually get the message over, should help emotionally get the message over, and give them trust and confidence that you know what you're doing. Don't cause death by PowerPoint. So let me tell you Josh's story. Josh was good. Now, he wasn't just good, he was absolutely brilliant. And he was trying to use the slides given to him. Now, the slides were text heavy, the key points were lost. Given the fact that he had the ability to sell $100 million contracts, he was a consultant for a boutique consultancy in the US. He was brilliant. But you wouldn't have known that by reading his slides. You wouldn't have known that. Just the message was confused. So the first thing I did was get him to step back and go, look, Josh, in one sentence, what's the promise of your business case? And you know what? We crafted that. I then asked him, right, what is, if you only had 3 sentences or 3 paragraphs, what would they be to get over the promise of your business case? And we helped him do that. I then asked him, what was the risk of doing nothing? Given that a director, he was winning $100 million contracts, if I was them, I'd leave him there. And then I asked him to put an assumptive close. So those of you that were looking for a structure of your presentation, here is one. It was just 6 slides. The first slide, the opening slide, was the 1-sentence sell, the promise of his business case. What was he actually going to do? In his case, he was going to grow the partnership by another, well, I think he was going to add another 100 million on by being a partner rather than director. We then broke that down into 3-sentence sell, into 3 supporting arguments, his 3 key selling points, and each of those had a slide. We then kind of get, well, what is the risk of doing nothing? What's the risk of leaving him at director? That was 1 slide. And then we went back to that first sentence by saying an assumptive close. If you'd like to add an extra 100 million and not risk X, Y, and Z, may I suggest that perhaps putting me through to partnership is the right thing to do? Yeah, it took a lot of confidence and all of that sort of stuff. And you've guessed it, he made it to partner, of course he did. And actually his partner panel interview and the conciseness and the succinctness and the getting rid of all the waffle, actually he got told that his presentation and interview was outstanding. It was one that the chair of his international consultancy had ever seen. It was one of the best. So what's the truth here? And as some of my current clients have discovered, and they discovered before they started to work with me, that your presentation needs to be more of a peer-to-peer discussion than a formal presentation. And actually, I've outlined a very simple structure that if you are going to use slides, there's only 6.